And hey there folks, this is Omega here, and welcome to a little video that I'm putting together here. What I really wanted to do was, give last gen a good send off, the PS3, 360, Wii, if you want to count that as last gen, but I count that as last gen anyways. But I just wanted to do a little send off to this system here. I've been playing, PS4 mostly, but you know. I've been playing a little bit of PS3 too, with Gran Turismo 6 coming out last week. I finally got my hands on it, and I've been playing a little bit of that. But mostly it's been PS4. I mean, look at, as you can see from here, I accumulated a few PS4 games. Boom. I think it's like almost. I have almost all of them, except for like maybe I feel like I think it was Skylanders is that one too, but. I accumulated quite a bit, but anyways, like I said, I wanted to give the PS3, 360, and the Wii a little send off. Talk about what I enjoyed of this last generation. What I hated. Just go through what I've done during that generation. The 8 years. Is it 8 years? Was it 10 years? No, it can't be 10. 8 years. Of playing the system, mostly the PS3. I'll be doing more PS3 since that's what I had. That's what I usually gamed on. I really did get the 360 till later, but I'll talk about that in a bit here. But like I said, I'll probably throw my my face cam down into the middle here. I'll throw some gameplay so you can watch that instead of watching my beautiful face. But anyways, I'll just do some random gameplay of PS4 games and whatnot, so you can see what I'm playing and all of that from the PS4. But let's get to it. Actually, with the PS3, when I first bought it, the order I bought the systems were PS3, 360, then the Wii. I really didn't get the PS3 until maybe a few months down the line. I had my first job and I was working, and then that's really the big big purchase of what I spent all my money on was on the PS3, of course, $5.99 plus tax and a bunch of games. So I had to wait a few months because I knew I wasn't going to get it. I worked at a Target, and I knew I was going to stand in line. I wasn't going to stand 3-4 hours in line. I wasn't gonna wait, so I thought to myself, I'll just save up a little bit more money and get a few games done with the system when I actually get it. And then a few months passed by. I finally bought the PS3, and I bought maybe like 3 or 4 games. I can't remember what they were. I know for sure it was Mobile Suit Gundam Assault or whatever that game was. Which I do have a video on my channel here about playing through it and what not. I had Virtual Tennis. Can't remember which Virtual Tennis, but the one that came on launch, of course, for the PS3, and I think Resistance maybe, and Fight Night Round 3. So I think I had 4 or 5. Those were the ones I couldn't remember. Maybe I did have 5, but those were the ones I bought the game for. When I bought the system, I bought those games, and I played through them and whatnot. I really, like I say, I think every Sony fan, when they bought the system, the PS3 at least, they were a little bit disappointed. I was a little bit disappointed. It sucked that the system itself was pretty dry for a long time. I mean, you have your third-party stuff, but your first party stuff were or just really not there until maybe really, if I can remember, like Metal Gear Solid 4. But I enjoyed my time with it. I mean, that's really when I first I played my PS3, it was just on a tube TV. Not a tube, well, I guess you could call it. I don't know. It was a pretty big TV though. But I remember, being like, maybe I should go and just buy a HD TV. And I went and bought a Magnavox, which was like pretty expensive during that time, like about $600, $700. And And I remember plugging in the first time. I'm like, holy crap! I remember seeing the crispiness of crispiness. Like, just the picture quality was just a lot more crisper than what we've been playing, TV I was playing on, and going from there to plugging in Fight Night, and I'm just like, boom, just like pretty much what 2K14 did for the PS4 and the Xbox One, with its upgraded engine and all that. It was kind of like that. I think 2K14 stepped it up a bit, because they used different models from. But I'm pretty sure they did from the PS2 and the PS3. But anyways, that's pretty much what it is. And you're kind of like, wow, this is really what next gen is. And then as I kept playing through, they have a lot of games that came out and whatnot. I remember Haze was one of them. I was pretty excited for that, and then it actually came out and it wasn't that great. There was really nothing wrong with it, but it just wasn't anything special. It was just really I hate to use the word, but generic. And just because they hyped it so much, I hyped it myself. That was really my fault. But I do that a lot with games, and I hyped it up a bit for myself, and getting it just wasn't that great. Like I said, there was nothing wrong with it. It was a solid game, but it just really didn't do anything to keep itself apart from other games. But just like everybody else, what they said, the PS3 did have problems. Just the price point itself, $5.99, was pretty big. I don't even know how I got that much money to actually go and buy it, but there's just a lot of different things that I could talk about. But then playing through, as the years go by, I went and bought a 360, and it was a different setup, because they were coming out with a lot of really the reason why I bought Xbox 360 was really for Lost Odyssey, and I was okay with that because that game was a really good game. So I really enjoyed it. I fortunately didn't beat it. Little problems happened there. With this two different systems, the PS3 and 360. The way the saves are all marked different, and I thought that it might have been the same as the PS3, where you have your save data and then your game data separate from each other, and I deleted the whole thing instead of going in there and then deleting the the game data. But anyways, all that aside, I actually went and bought the PS3 I actually had was a 60 gig backwards compatibility PS3, which I was able to play PS2 games. I played Final Fantasy 11 on there. It lagged a lot, so I decided to stop. And then I actually went and bought for the 360. I actually went around to, it was close to Christmas, maybe like a few weeks ahead of Christmas. I can't remember. It was somewhere around Christmas, because I remember it was a holiday season. So, and I remember going to different stores, Target, Walmart, at least looking for. So I went to, and I finally found a Target, like maybe I want to say about 15 miles down from where I live, and I decided to head over there and bought it. Fortunately, it was the 20 gig. Is it 20 gig? It was way more expensive than it should have been, but it was a 20 gig Halo 3 exclusive color special system, so it came in all green and all orange, like shiny orange and all that. So like I said, it was a 20 gig, and I think it was a little bit more expensive, but I couldn't wait for it because Lost Odyssey was coming down the line of release, and I needed it for that. So when I got the 360, I really didn't have too much games for it. Only had like a Lost Odyssey, mostly just JRPGs, because during that time Microsoft was pushing JRPGs, and with Infinite Discovery, Tales of Aspera, there was a few other games for. I can't remember what that game was called. Let's see if I can find it here real quick on my Steam here. But I won't bother you. But the main character was Rush, and it was the same guys who did Saga Frontier. That's the reason why I bought it, and then because Saga Frontier was one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 1, so I supported them. But that's the sole reason why I bought them. And they have Star Ocean, and then probably a few more that I just can't think. As of this moment, but that was really it. I was a big fan of RPG games or JRPGs at least, and the system at that time had a lot more than what the PS3 had. So I played a lot of that on the 360 until PS3 started to get a little bit more exclusives, a little bit more JRPGs, a little bit more RPGs, and just got more and more games, and then that's where my 360 just kind of got shooed off to the side. And then my PS3 was the main system that I mostly gamed on right after that. So, and talking about different games and whatnot, I mean the biggest influence actually to make me step out of my boundary, because during that time, and as you can see from my PS2 games, they're all JRPGs, and that's what I played. My PS1 games were the same thing. I might have like Resident Evil 2. I bought that on accident because I was asking my dad, oh, this game looked cool. The commercial made it look like an action game, but I got it, it's just like, oh, never mind. And I beat it anyways. But I played more, RPG games, mostly JRPG games, and it's and the PS3 really kind of, and I was mad before that. I'm like, man, why didn't they releasing any JRPG games for it, or RPG like Final Fantasy? You're looking at your Suikoden and your Breath of Fire, even though Breath of Fire was never, well, Breath of Fire was on PS2, but I was pretty mad. I mean, you had all this library of games you could have put on the PS3, but you didn't. And I was a little mad, but playing all those games, I was happy about that. I mean, it literally made me step out of that boundary where I played a lot of different. I played first-person shooters, third-person shooters. It's been a while since I played platformers. I played platformers, puzzles, and all that. Whatever they threw at me, I played it. Point and clicks, whatever, and I think that was pretty cool. I mean, the really first game that got me into playing, first-person shooter was, of course, Modern Warfare. I think that's what everybody liked, back then, 2007, 2008. That's all we pretty much played, and that's the game I really just still today. That's really the game that I put the most, or at least in the shooter, put the most time into. But I really, that's the reason why I can't say it was a disappointment. It was a little bit of disappointment just because the RPG game selection was a little slight, a little lower. The quality was just lower than what we've seen from the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 era. And but like I said, it always works out at the end. And now I'm playing Uncharted, I'm playing Battlefield, I'm playing all these different types of games that I would never even touch if the JRPG scene was just kept on rolling. But and hopefully it goes into the PS4. Hopefully they bring that back where the heyday of Squaresoft. They hate, just all these, companies that could, pump out good RPGs. They don't have to be great, they just have to be good. And more consistent rate instead of, having a drought and whatnot. But as of now, PS3, they're coming out with a lot of JRPG games. Vita, I just bought, I think it's called Ys, but I just bought that, and there's a few other games coming out on the Vita. I just bought myself a 3DS too, so I think I'm waiting for that game called Brave something for the 3DS. But anyways, But you know, and then I got a Wii, and you know, I didn't really put too much time into the Wii. I mean, I played Wii Sports, and that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it. I mean, I did go out and buy the Evo game. I don't remember what's this called, but it wasn't that great anyways. Because I was thinking maybe, you know, I'm a big fan of Epo, and you know, hopefully it's good. I thought it was. I didn't really touch it, but and then you know, my dad and I would just play like Wii Golf and Wii Boxing and all that, and Wii Tennis. That's all we really played for the Wii. I didn't have a game. I mean, I had Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. I think that's what it's called. But and then I just sold it because you know I just really didn't play it until you know, and then you know. A few weeks later, they announced that Xenoblade Chronicles was coming out for that last story and all that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. But anyways, but you know, like I said, I really enjoyed the the generation. It's really the only generation that I actually bought my own games. Being in the PS1, PS2, I was like in PS1, I was still in like elementary, going to middle school. PS2, I was in middle school. I didn't really get a job until I was 18, so and then that's when I really bought my own games, and you know I kind of just cherish them. I'm just collecting them, and you know there's a whole bunch of them just sitting out there. I'm still buying more games and whatnot. So for the PS3, I'm not giving up on that system yet. There's still a lot of games coming out. I mean, hopefully if it's anything like the PS2, we could see games come out more and more and more. Just any type of games. What we saw a lot of in the PS2 era was that a lot of Japanese games came out that you probably would never get to play, and they came out randomly. Just one of them would just pop out, and you're like, oh cool. So hopefully we get something like that. Hopefully we get something from a few years back, that Japanese game that never came out for the in the U.S. or Europe, and hopefully they just bring that out with translation and all that. But yes, like I said, this gen still has, or at least on the PS3. I'm gonna talk, like I said, PS3 was my main system. PS3 still has some legs. There's still a lot of games I want to get, like Lightning Returns, Ragnarok Odyssey Ace, I think so. I have that on Vita too, but I want to actually play it on the PS3 and see if I enjoy that. Like I said, I don't touch my Vita too much. I don't play it. Ys or Wise is the only one I'm currently playing, and that game is actually pretty good. It's the only game right now that that and Muramasa was the games I enjoyed for the Vita. But there's a few more games. I just can't think of it right now. But there's a lot more games coming out for that system than I thought it would be. But we'll see what happens. I mean, the PS3 is still going strong. My PS3 is still going strong. This is my second PS3. My 60 gig died on me back in 2009, but I attribute that to playing Final Fantasy 11 constantly. I mean, I used to keep my PS3 on just all day. I would go to school, let my character leave them in a bazaar, selling items, and then I'll come back and be like, oh, let's play some Final Fantasy 11, and then just goes from there. I would just leave it on constantly, but and it lasted for a while, so about 3 years. With it, like, had non-stop usage. I would play, my brother will play, and it's the same with this PS3 too. I'm surprised that it's been about the same time, 3 years now, and it would never turn off. I usually just leave it on. There are days when I would forget, I would go to sleep, and then I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to turn on my PS3, and go to work and come back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to turn my PS3. So I'm still going strong. My 360, unfortunately, Red Ring of Death on me. I don't know if I want to go buy another one, or if I'm a little too lazy, I'll buy another one, but I want to try to fix it and get it started up again. And then Wii, I don't know, maybe I'll buy another Wii for a few of the games. Fortunately, I could emulate those games on my PC, and I could probably just go out and buy Xenoblade Chronicles and Last Story and all that for my Dolphin emulator. So other things I really enjoyed from this our last generation, I keep getting that mixed up. From last generation, you know, the PS3 360 era, you know, this is DLC. I mean, that was awesome how they did it. You know, mostly like, you know, what Bethesda did with that, with their DLC. Borderlands did it with their DLC. It's just, I like mostly the DLCs that, you know, added to the story or was just, you know, an offshot of the story. And to unconscious to that, the other side, you know, with the DLCs for, you know, like, oh, if you want to, you know, buy, you know, levels, or, you know, you pay like $3 to buy, you know, 15 more levels, or you want to like, just those little things that really just enhances your game, your characters and whatnot. I just wasn't a big fan of that. I thought they could just got rid of that, and like I said, I like more of the story, add on to the story. You know, add new places. You know, map packs are okay. Just don't come out as much as like Call of Duty did, and you know, sell them for a little bit cheaper instead of, you know, $19.99. Probably do like $10 or something, and you know, instead of releasing, you know, 4 map packs at a time, you can do like all of them at a time. But fortunately, that's what I think. But you know, just the DLC thing was pretty cool. I really liked it. Other little things I really, you know, liked about the generation was just a lot of different games. Like I said, you know, from the mindset of what I had before, you know, just being pure RPG games, you kind of just look into this generation and be like, wow, there's a lot more games. I'm pretty sure there was a lot more on the PS2, and pretty sure there's a lot more. And one of the worst time in, you know, the PS3, the PS3's lifetime would be the outage from the PSN. You know, online was down, PlayStation Network was down. You know, credit cards were you know, hacked and all that. Everybody's all freaking out. Fortunately, nothing happened to me. Nothing, you know, my credit card, all that information wasn't taken. I don't know if it really was or wasn't. I don't know if anybody, you know, had their stuff taken. But, you know, on the bright side of that, with the, you know, PlayStation Network being down, I actually finished a lot of games. I have to say, I finished like 4 games. And that's pretty hard for me to do now, because I swapped through so many games, so many released games coming out. I buy them, and then, you know, I play them for a bit, then I try to go back to the game that I enjoy the most. So, but during that time, I actually finished 4 games. I can't remember what they were, but, you know, I sat down and just plowed right through them. It was pretty awesome. I mean, I don't really want the PlayStation Network store to, you know, go down again, or the PlayStation Network to go down again, but, you know, at the same time, you know, there's always a plus to that, and, you know, I finished a lot of games. So, being a PS3 gamer, mostly through the last generation, you know, the PS3 struggled in the beginning, you know, with just limited amount of games they had, or at least, you know, a lot of their games were kind of lower tier type of games. Not a lot of triple A, I guess, what, you know, people say. Really until, you know, Metal Gear Solid 4, and then onwards, you know, you had a lot of, you know, during the year you have, you know, a few games that were triple A, and then from at least from the Sony side, Sony in-house studios, you have 1 or 2, you know, triple A games, and you have a lot of games that are sprinkled in there that are, you know, I like to class them as B tier, and, you know, they were good. I mean, as long as they're good, I will buy them. You know, or at least if it's not good, if it is it's in the genre that I like, I'll buy them anyways. So if it's a pretty bad JRPG, I will buy them just for collection case. But, you know, as long as it's good, it's, I'll buy them, and that's what happened. As years went by, after Metal Gear Solid 4 came out. I mean, before that it was pretty much just third-party stuff, and then you have one, two sprinkled in there, and then like heavily rain. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, it's short. Everybody says it's short. I believe it's short, but I really enjoyed just how the story is and all that. But when it came down to it, at the end, PS3 just kept on pumping out more and more exclusive. Granted, some of them don't sell as much as I would like them to sell. They were still good to me. I still played them, I enjoyed them. That's all that I really asked for. It sucks that they probably won't make any more games in that series, but I'm okay with it. That's what happens when you're in the business for it. You'll hit one or two games that are really good, and then some of them were just mediocre or just okay, and then things happen. But like I said, as the years just kept on going, we got more and more games. I remember, was it 2011 or 2012? It was just like a whole slather of just games, and it was just like, oh my gosh, I gotta go buy this, I gotta buy that, I still need to go buy Starhawk, I still need to buy Twisted Metal. Those are the games I still need to pick up. I mean, I mostly have all the exclusive for PS3, and I think it was either 2011, 2012. That year was just, and then you have third-party stuff. That year was just crazy, and I still kind of going and picking. Oh, maybe I missed this guy. I need to really make a list of what games came out that year, so I can just go and pick up. And then I can buy them for cheap now at GameStop, and we'll see what happens. So, anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this little video here, just reminiscing about what the last gen did for me. I actually kind of want, since the end of the year here, I kind of want to go and do or at least this generation has ended with a new generation has just started. I kind of want to go and do my top 10 games from this from last generation, and my top 10 disappointing games from last generation, and see what what I get. I don't know when that will come out, but I'll try to release them as quickly as I can. There will just be games I would have played, and or at least put extensive time into, and or if on the other side for top 10 disappointed, just games I was hyped about and just didn't live up to what I thought it would be, or what the ace said it would be, and just disappointed with them. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy the video, and go ahead and leave a comment, hit a like button, and subscribe to my channel. If you guys want to leave a comment, like I said, if you guys want to talk about PS3, do a little reminiscing of PS3 and 360 and the Wii on the comments. Whatever you guys want to do, just leave a comment, and I'll get back to you guys in a bit. So I'll see everybody next time. Peace.